everybody, it's Steve Olson. It's December 4th, 2016. Kind of late on the 3rd, actually. I'm going to put it up on the 4th. Hey, sorry for the delay. We've been working on the website, getting things done. We have a couple of emails we got to clean up on yet, so if you haven't seen your email, just be patient. It's getting all cleaned up now. We have our lists all kind of fixed up for WSO Live. And just wanted to kind of go into today looking at this Caltech article. Now, it's already been reported on many times. But this is from 10/19/2016, and there's been some other channels that have been taking some notice of this. But again, this kind of comes back to, this curious tilt of the sun. I remember we talk about the tilt of the sun, tilt of the moon, tilt of these other things, and it's oftentimes that we get debunked. And I'm not saying that that we're right or wrong. I think that we have good reasons to believe that there is a tilt of both the moon and of the sun because of the introduction of some other objects in the solar system. So anyway, I think it's just interesting that Caltech puts this out, and then we all of a sudden start hearing kind of a rush of channels starting to go to this information. This is information that WSO has been reporting on for quite some time now. And I just wanted to kind of point you to this article to go take a look at it yourself. But when I've got Brown saying that there's a reason, that there might be a tilt, problem with the sun because of another planet, I guess we have to stand up and take notice. But I'd also say thank you for the subscribers who have been noticing it and have been studying it. So I wanted to get into a couple of subscriber pictures, and this one was amazing. Look at this with the chemtrails, complete with the chemtrails in a very clear orb object in the sky, and it's the green planet, and we've been seeing it a lot. And when I talk about, guys, when I talk about chemtrailing and when we talk about, this green planet, we've been seeing this green planet since the summer, okay? I want to be careful to point something out. A lot of folks want this to be this end of the world event. It's almost like they want to see people die. It's almost like they want to be, vindicated for knowing that this is happening and then watching people die in glee or something like that. And WSO does not take that point of view. WSO believes and wants to trust in God that our prayers do mean something to the God of love, and that we are asking Him to protect this planet. And in spite of his prophecies, and in spite of all the things that are out there, we also know that God works all things to the good of those who love him. So when we talk about, Planet X and these planets and everything like that, we're not convinced 100% that it's going to have a huge, dramatic effect on the Earth yet. We have been seeing dramatic changes in the Earth, earthquakes and other things like that, and we have been seeing these planets, and we would expect that there would be some effects on the Earth. But I also think that there are people that are fighting against it. I think that our government is actually trying to do something about it. Like, for example, when we look at the chemtrailing, one of the purposes of the aluminum in the chemtrailing we know is to reduce the magnetic signature of Earth, making it harder for there to be a lithosphere lock on the Earth. And they're doing all kinds of things to try to mitigate or maybe prevent this, okay? They also put dastardly chemicals. It's like nothing can be pure from the government. It's always something has to be wrong with it, right? So in addition to the aluminum, which makes perfect sense to create a magnetic barrier between the Earth and anything that's coming in, adding nanoparticulates, genetic material, red blood cells into the chemtrails, why the heck they're doing it, I could not tell you. But anyway, I just wanted to get on a thing about this whole thing. Why is the Christian community especially, why are we so gung-ho to see millions of people die? I'm not with you guys on that. I am not into that. I do not want to see that. I want to prepare as many people so that when they see it, they don't freak out and become sheeple of the government and get herded into FEMA camps. I'm talking about having independence and sovereignty to say, look, I'm looking at this thing. I don't have to believe it means disaster, complete disaster, but the prophecies that we've seen from Crazy Horse, from the book of Revelation, from all over the place, would seem to suggest that there's going to be an ass whooping, okay? I get it. But at the same time, I do believe that we can pray to God and ask him to mitigate and save lives, not to sit there and wish vindictively that people die. I'm just not into that, guys. I want to see people live, not die. All right, so here's from Brazil again. We're getting that big rainbow again effect, which again we think is an effect of possibly the sun combined with the artificial lighting system that creates a double rainbow. So one would be the sun rainbow, the other one would be the artificial lighting system rainbow. And again, going into the artificial lighting system for just a second, I just wanted to remind our listeners that we talk about this, that we think that there's a Fresnel lens system that's deployed in space that actually is being used to distort our view of space. And let me give you an example here. This is from Kaylee Anibus, who's one of our good supporters of WSO. And when she takes photographs of the sun, she can actually see this thing whipping around and just creating this kind of obfuscation or spreading of light away from our eyes and not being able to see it. And then because she's very patient, she can pick up pictures of like this green planet and other things because she waits for that system to fail or to just slightly move to the next place. And what I'm telling you is when you say, why can't I go look up in the sky and see it? We have explained ad nauseum why this damn thing is hard to see. And I want you to go back and take a look, and we'll do another video on the artificial lighting system because I talked to a subscriber today that wasn't convinced. So I'm going to have to do another video and prove it to her. Anyway, so at the end of the day, I just want you to be aware that we theorize that there is an artificial lighting system and obfuscation system, and this is also from the Jeff P. channel, who's a friend of WSO as well, and we'll continue to talk about that. Now let's end up this segment by just showing you this. Here is an example of how this artificial, look at how the perfect little star, right? First of all, that's not normal. That's not how the sun really looks. The sun is like bizarre and goes all over the place. And then you've got these, these weird lens flares that just show up, and what it's doing is it's trying to move your point of reference away from what is behind this thing. But again, we're starting to see the system fail, and this other object starts to show up behind there. And Jeff P. has done a great job documenting this, so I'm basically just parroting what Jeff says. But this is actually this lensing system in effect, and it's failing, guys. It's starting to fail, and we're starting to see these objects behind the sun. You know what I mean? So let's go on to the next thing here. I just wanted to finish this very short video up tonight by saying I've been on the road hard, getting ready to move out west, in the process of moving out to Idaho. I have a team in North Dakota right now that's going to get ready to go to Arizona. We've got our website going. And by the way, if you haven't received an email yet, just be patient. We've got a couple of cleanup lists that we're working on right now, and we missed a couple of the first round of subscribers. We're going to get those out tomorrow or Monday. And again, I'm sorry about the delay if you were one of the people that faced the delay. If you don't see your sign-in sheet by Tuesday of next week, email me at olson.stevend@gmail.com, or if you have any other kind of pictures or anything you want to share with us. But I'm telling you right now, we're really starting to take off, and you can tell because one of the things that's happened to WSO is we're getting like these just frivolous copyright strikes are coming at us in a kind of a flurry. And so they're doing everything they can right now as we continue to grow and fund our operation through the website and through donations that are given to WSO to continue this work. Real quick update on the North Dakota pipeline situation. Right now, there are over 4,000 U.S. veterans that are going to be doing an action tomorrow where they're going to actually walk out to the front line. And the idea is that they're going to stand to protect the praying people. They're going to be unarmed. There are rumors that are being spread by this police force, this military force, that the veterans are going to bring weapons and the Indians are going to try to set off their PTSD. Where the hell do they come up with this stuff? Man, this is the most peaceful group of people I've ever been around. They're way more peaceful than most of the Christians I know, and they're praying all the time. And they're not judging anybody. They just want to be left alone. They want their land to be left alone. And they want the United States to honor the 1851 treaties. So these veterans, these brave veterans, 4,000, maybe 5,000 tomorrow, will be walking upon the lines to protect the Indians in their prayer. Number two, there's some negotiation between the high, original native group and the police on like some just crazy stuff around how they're going to do the borders around the bridge. Again, man, guys, listen to me. 1851, that's Indian land. It was stolen and made private by these oil companies who bought this from the Indians. And really, there wasn't any right for the government to do that because it was treaty land. So anyway, that's the update from North Dakota. The website's rolling. We're going to be putting a whole new set of content up there next week. I know that's a lot of announcements from WSO right now because that's why we are busting at the seams growing. We have a new address. Please look at it below. It's in Boise. For if you're going to write to WSO or send any kind of materials or anything like that to me, send them to the address below. Hope you all have a good night or good morning.